We are back. Casino Kyle and the Grimace here. 703-993-9468 is the number to give us a phone call in studio. Check us out online.
ckng.com.
That's right.
Come on.
All
Best
these good
website
things.
on the net.
And contacting us right now.
Oh,
You know who it is?
Is it one of my favorite men I've ever seen on television?
I don't know. Is Mr. Ken Jennings one of the favorite people that you've ever seen on television?
Hells yeah, I love Mr. Ken Jennings.
Ken Jennings from Jeopardy fame. How are you today, sir?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on the show, you guys.
Oh, not a problem, man. We are psyched to talk to you. My friend Grimace and I, we are live here in studio. And Mr. Ken Jennings, you may know him from his 74 appearances on Jeopardy. Okay? Possibly the $2.5 million that he won. He's world famous. He's world renowned, and we're so happy to have him here live in studio tonight. And Ken, where are we talking with you today?
I'm stuck in traffic in downtown Seattle. I'm on my way to a book signing.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Downtown Seattle. Now you live in Seattle.
Yeah, I just moved here a couple months ago.
All right. Well, excellent. Coffee, any good? Is the Starbucks better in Seattle than it would be somewhere else in the country?
It's better. There's like 5 on every block, so that's good.
It works. Now, I got to get this out right away. I've been a Jeopardy fan for a while, and you took my watching to another level. And this kind of sounds nerdy that I'm saying this, because we've had, cheerleaders on this program, and I've been more excited to talk to you. I don't know. It's just Jeopardy is like programmed television. You have to watch it.
We were talking about this before you called up tonight, Grim, and Grim and I were talking in studio, and we're saying, it was a great time when you were on Jeopardy, and it was one of the only times where I can go to the bar and I can talk to someone next to me. I'll be like, "Hey, did Ken win tonight?" And he would know, boom, right away, yes, he did. And it was a great experience. So, Ken, you've got a great book, Brainiac. We've got 2 copies here in studio. I tried to get it done before the interview tonight, but almost done. It's a great book so far from what I've read. It's trivia history. Give us a little insight as to what made you decide to write a book.
Well, I've been a fan of trivia my whole life. I've met other trivia people, and we all seem to have the same childhood experience of just staying inside on sunny days to read Guinness Book of World Records or the Baseball Encyclopedia or something. Just loved reading lists full of information, weird kids. And, but despite that, and despite suddenly being this poster boy for trivia because of Jeopardy, growing up I didn't know much about it. Where did trivia come from? What's the history of it? Why do our brains like knowing this kind of stuff? What's the deal with these, little subcultures of trivia nerds out there? What do they like? And I figured this is the book I wanted to read since nobody else was writing it. I thought I'd give it a shot.
Sounds good, man. But I want to backtrack a little. I definitely want to pimp your book out as much as possible, and the signing you're doing in the D.C. area here. But I got to know, and I know you did, you donated some of the money to charity and all that, but what was, the first big thing you bought? Did you get yourself, a new car or something? That's what I want to know.
I don't have some great story. I went out and bought a Porsche the first day.
Oh, nice.
I bought a widescreen TV there. That's about the only big splurge. And we just moved to Seattle and bought a nice house. So, that was a pretty good chunk right there.
See, because, I know you did the good thing. You donated a lot of it to charity. And I think even the charities, though, would say, come on, buy yourself a car or something first. So,
that's what the Salvation Army told me. No, not us. You got to get a Jag. What are you doing?
Come on. Everybody's for donating money to charity. It's a great thing. Always good if you come into some money to help give it to others. But come on. Even the charities want you to get something nice for yourself. You earned it.
There's a little left. I'm not totally bankrupt yet.
I'm sure. And you've got the profits that will be shortly rolling in here from the book. We've got it in our local bookstore right down the street here, and it's already selling like crazy. So
it's literally about 100 feet from this studio right here. There's a bookstore, and we went and checked, make sure your book was there.
Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it.
We had to make sure they were selling it. I know. We had to make sure they were selling it because, we knew you weren't here, so we had to check for you, Make sure they're pushing it out there.
you guys have my back. I appreciate it.
Exactly.
Now, Ken, growing up Salt Lake City, you're very interested in the trivia, and you gave us the quick rundown as far as in your book with the trivia show and going all the way up. Trivial Pursuit coming out and Jeopardy in the early '80s. And what do you think is so appealing to the masses as trivia?
I think a lot of it is just the fun of the competition of it. We all carry these, so-called useless facts around with us in our brains, and usually they are pretty useless. We have this dusty file drawers in our head full of, baseball statistics and, Star Trek episodes and whatever. And so often, so rarely comes in handy that it's a really nice feeling when suddenly you can, help out the team by coming up with that one fact, in the precise moment you need it. It's a great feeling of suddenly having that information pay off. You feel like it's been worth it all these years.
Like, actually reading the encyclopedia and sitting down actually paid off for something. It's not just one of those things you do for school anymore,
Yeah, you don't have to. It's a lot of fun when it's not for school, right?
Right, exactly.
So, speaking of like all this time, you were on Jeopardy, you've got all this not useless, we don't want to say useless knowledge, but just random knowledge. What kind of questions or categories did you find to be like the hardest for you? Like when it would pop up, you'd be like, oh no. I mean, were there any?
Yeah, like trivia kryptonite, For me, it was always like hockey. They kept having hockey questions, and I'm not really a fan. Country music would keep coming up on Jeopardy. I'd be like, oh man, country again. It turns out I am not a little bit country.
Well, Ken, we've got a list here of country music questions and hockey. If you'd like to go ahead and take a go right now. No, that's all right. In a few minutes, we're going to go ahead. We do have a couple questions that we wanted to ask you, just kind of throw at you, just test the Ken Jennings knowledge. So we'll get to that if you don't mind here in just a few. But Grim, what else you got, man?
Well, because I was going on this whole what was hard for you? Because I'm honestly I'm a Jeopardy fan. I watch it all the time. The ones that get me are like the before and after ones where they give you like you got to be like George Washington Hoover vacuum or something. Those ones.
You got to combine
how do you prepare? How do you prepare for that?
So I have to prepare for those, but there is stuff that comes up over and over on Jeopardy. You watch the show enough, you'll realize, okay, I got to know my world capitals, my presidents, my Shakespeare. And so there's a chapter in Brainiac which is like pretty good Jeopardy prep coaching, I would think. It talks about the crazy weeks I spent making flashcards and cramming on presidents and stuff like that, so I could have all that down.
So you get your countries, your world capitals, your presidents, your Shakespeare, the literature, all the the basic general categories that they would throw at you. Usually different varieties as they do. They'll with Jeopardy they focus on one particular topic. But I guess if you cover everything, you're pretty much good there, right?
That's sort of the problem. I mean, you can't really cram for everything because Jeopardy can ask about any topic in the universe.
Right.
So you got to sort of play the percentages.
So is that how a Mormon was able to do so well on the alcohol questions?
Yeah, that's true too. I had to make flashcards of how to mix cocktails. Jeopardy's always got the potent potables, but I don't know a screwdriver from a sidecar.
Well, you played it off real well, Ken. I gotta say, man. I mean, you played off those alcoholists drink categories with not a problem at all. So
it's true.
I'm sure they're really proud of me. At home in Utah.
Yeah, I mean, you looked like there was nothing that could, stump you. Were there any categories that you were like, yes, I'm all about this. I want to go straight there, that were like your go-tos maybe?
Pretty much any movie category. Like, I was all over that. I'm a huge movie fan. I've seen thousands of movies. So yeah, any movie category, I would go there first immediately.
What's good out there in the theaters today? What's the last movie you saw, man?
The last movie I saw was The Illusionist, but it's not that great.
Oh.
Don't tell me the hype. The Illusionist sort of sucks.
Oh, no way!
Really?
Because I saw a commercial for that the other day, and I'm like, I should probably go check that out. That looked pretty good. I'm not going to now, Ken, so thank you. Thank you for wasting my time there.
Ken Jennings, official movie reviewer now.
Can I mine back.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for saving me the 2 hours, right?
Exactly. Oh,
So you'll be in town here next Wednesday doing a book signing at Olson's Books. It's a little bookstore here in Arlington, which is not too far from the studio.
Nope.
Grimace and I will probably try to hit that up so you can sign our 2 books that we have in studio here with us tonight.
I'd love to. 7 p.m. Yeah, next Wednesday. Is that what you said?
yeah,
That's right.
next Wednesday,
That's
7
right.
p.m. Olson's Books. Looking forward to it. You know, because Brainiac just came out. You're doing this nice little book tour, and you're doing like talks before the signing or something. Is that what I'm?
I'll just sort of talk a bit about trivia and take some questions if people want to know what Alex is really like or whatever they want to ask, and sign some books.
You know, there was something that I heard that, and I don't know, you know, different people may be kind of criticizing this a little bit more, but I've heard that in some little way that, I don't know, you are maybe knocking the Jeopardy program or different things. Can you just kind of clear up those rumors, kind of, you know, set the record straight? Because
Alex Trebek is not a robot.
I guess, you know, on TV, you guys seem like you had such a great little relationship. So how were things when the camera stopped rolling?
Yeah, I would love to clear that up. But any rumors of me trashing Jeopardy are greatly exaggerated. I had a post on my blog where I was just listing some silly suggestions for Jeopardy. You know, they should add killer bees to their format, or they should have ventriloquist dummies on the show, or you know, just dumb non sequitur stuff. The New York Post found they could take some quotes out of context and make it look like I was, you know, bashing Jeopardy and Alex, which I would never do. It's like my favorite show, and he and I actually got along pretty well on the show. You know, sometimes I sort of wondered, you know, because he's very strict on the show, so I thought, ooh, maybe he doesn't like me. But as I say in Brainiac, after my last show, he came back on stage, and after I had lost, he was actually sort of choked up. He was like, "Well, Ken, we're gonna miss you around here," and I thought, oh, that's sort of sweet. He you know, he likes me after all. I guess.
Yeah, it's like his dinner buddy from the past 6 months is now going away, right? I mean, did you guys
You lost the sidekick.
any conversing or anything outside? Were you guys? I guess you probably weren't. I don't know if you were allowed to do that or not. But any type of events or anything that you've done with him, either since the end of the tapings or maybe during your tapings, or no?
I ran into him a couple of times just at, you know, media promotional stuff he was doing where I was also there. But except for that, yeah, you're right. The security is very tight. It's, you know, Pentagon tight security on any game show. So,
yeah, I
you know, you would be immediately kicked off the show if you tried to, you know, chat with Alex in some illegal manner. You know, there's a moment in the book where I get busted for even changing my tie in a mirror that he uses. That's how hardcore they are.
Wow.
Oh, so I've heard rumors of you maybe getting your own game show. I believe, Ken Jennings versus the rest of the world or something like that.
You got anything lined up with Game Show Network, Ken, or what?
We developed the show for Comedy Central, actually, but even though they liked the show, it turned out they weren't in the market anymore for a half-hour game show. So we have shopped it around a bit to other places, including Game Show Network, like you say. I don't know if, you know, Ken Jennings versus the rest of the world will ever see air, but I would love to do it. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
It sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
I would watch it. I would watch it in a heartbeat, Ken. Definitely, man. We miss having you on TV. We really do. You know, it's everybody that I talk to when your streak with, you know, the poor H&R Block question ended. You know, it was like everybody was like, you know, Jeopardy is just not the same without Ken. It's just not the same.
Do you get sick of people going, you didn't know H&R Block? Like,
yeah, it happens all the time. Like, people have no compunction about telling me that. Oh, we totally do that, you know, in my living room or whatever. Well, yeah, it's easy for you to say now, Poindexter, but...
Yeah, I know.
We all know it now, of course, but, you know...
You're like, oh, but did you know the VIN number on a 1986 Buick? No, I don't think so. Like, I'm saying that...
H&R Block was not a hard question, but I just sort of thought about it the wrong way, and can't win them all, I guess.
Yeah, you know, you won a good number of them. You were on
can't win them all.
74 episodes in a row, and it's funny because it all started pretty much when it was that exact season or the season after they changed the rule from the maximum being 5 games. So.
Yeah, just months before they had changed the rules. They used to kick people off after 5 games. So,
were you waiting until they were to change the rule before you tried out? Like, was that your intention?
No, not at all. When I tried out, they had not yet changed the rules. So they called me to invite me on the show, and they're like, you know about our recent rule change, right? And I didn't want to be like, no, I never watched the show. What are you talking about? So I was like, why don't you tell me what rule change you mean, and I'll tell you if I know about it or not. And they were like, oh, we don't keep people out after 5 games anymore. And I was like, yeah, big deal. Like, that's going to affect me.
Yeah.
Right.
But it sure did.
Oh man, well,
Definitely affected you in a big way.
huge way. Changed history, really. So, Ken, new book, Brainiac, in stores now. Book signing here at Olson's next Wednesday, 7:00. We've got a couple things we want to do before we wrap things up. I know you're probably stuck in traffic still in Seattle, but we'll try to get you out of here on a good note. So, got a couple questions, and we want to just check a couple things. Maybe just check the Ken Jennings knowledge. Okay?
I'll give it a shot.
All right, let's see. The hottest chili in the world is what?
The habanero, is that right?
Habanero. That's 1 for 1. Ken is on fire already. Let's see. All right. Who was the first basketball player pictured on a box of Wheaties?
Basketball player on Wheaties. I don't know. Dr. J.
Oh, no, Jordan. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, 1988.
It's pretty late.
1988. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's kind of late for Wheaties. They've been doing this for a while, right? I don't know when they started, but I don't know. Let's see. All right, is this true or false? All clams start out as males.
I don't know, but I guess I got a 50-50 shot, right? I'll go true.
Ah, there we go. Attaboy, Ken. Yes, they actually some decide later on in life, I guess, to become females, but they all start out as male.
So, humans decide that later in life, too, so I know how they feel.
Very nice. All right, now, Ken, we've got one more question. Want to know if you know the answer to this one. Who was the first $1 million winner on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
John Carpenter.
And just like you knew the answer to that, Ken, you are now the answer to a trivia question.
That's true, I guess. It's pretty exciting if you're a trivia geek to actually, be the answer on the back of the card.
Yes,
It's a lot of fun.
it's got to be the ultimate for trivia fans like you and like us. I mean, you will be on a card of Trivial Pursuit here with the next edition, most likely.
It's very flattering.
It's great.
That's great, Ken. All right, look, it has been a tremendous pleasure on our part, hopefully on your part as well. Thank you very much for calling.
We're looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday at Olson's. Check him out, 7:00. Little book signing, little talk first. I'm
Little
psyched about
Q&A.
that. We're looking forward to meeting you finally next week there, Ken.
Thanks so much for having me.
Not a problem, man. Have a safe trip cross country.
I will do.
All right,
See you
take
later.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.